Good morning. This is KHEA Radio. It's a beautiful week right here in Galveston County. I'm excited that you're taking the time to tune in from wherever you are in the world. We have Dr. Aaron Chapa with Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center here in studio. It's a beautiful week, Thanksgiving week. I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for you here today, Dr. Chapa. How you doing?
Man, I'm thankful to be here as well. It's so exciting that Thanksgiving is here. I love Thanksgiving. I mean, it's kind of a cliche to be thankful, around Thanksgiving. We should be thankful all the time, right? But I love Thanksgiving. I love family time. I love turkey. Oh, do I love turkey. I already have a stuffing in mind that my mom makes. It is, not, Dr. Chapa savvy, although it is it's a corn base, so it's, I'm Indian blood, so I can tolerate that better than like a wheat based thing. But at the end of the day, man, I just love, the opportunity just to chill for a couple days with thankfulness as the backbone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so often we are just blowing and going, pressing the envelope, trying to hit the deadline, trying to hit the goal. And, Thanksgiving week and Christmas is just all our opportunity to slow down just a little bit and focus on what's important. Focus on family. Focus on your kids or your relatives' kids or your nieces and nephews or wherever. Take the time today to just relish the ideas of what you want your Thanksgiving to look like. And I think that you'll get it. I think that you'll find that, all the hustle and bustle and the stress of families coming together or travel and all that, you can rise above the quote-unquote negative attitudes that sometimes come with families coming together, because there's sometimes some challenges in that realm. You could potentially be the catalyst for change this year and make this Thanksgiving the best that it's ever been. And I want that for you, your family, and all your loved ones, and all of our listeners that are tuning in and subscribing to our channel each and every week. We wanted to make sure we brought you guys a health and wellness show that just kind of reminded you to be thankful.
Yes. I think one thing that's important, and I've learned this from you, is you don't have to take a whole week off. You can kind of plan and say, okay, Thursday I know, grandma's making this, my mom's making this. I want to have a little bit of that. So I'm going to try and keep on track the best I can to plan for that situation.
Yes, and I think that with the idea of planning, people never plan to fail. They just fail to plan, right? So we want you to be thinking, okay, Thursday's coming. You know you're going to fall off the rails. I know you're going to fall off the rails. You know you're going to fall off the rails. And that's okay, and that's expected, and we wouldn't ask any different of you. We do want you to challenge yourself, though, all week long in preparation. Today and tomorrow, to make sure that you're eating clean. Make sure that your system is a go. Make sure that everything is firing all 8 cylinders and that you're doing what you can in prep, knowing that you might get into a sweet treat. You might get into your favorite family traditional, meal, whatever that is. I would love to know what that is. Like, what is your favorite family tradition meal?
If you're watching on social media, put it in the comments. We want to know. For me, let's see, turkey's okay. I do like turkey. It's not my number one all the time.
I would love to know, what is your number one Thanksgiving thing? That it ain't Thanksgiving unless
I have to have pecan pie.
So good. So does it matter to you? Is it grandma's pecan pie recipe? Is it mom's? Is it your in-laws? Is it from anywhere? Does it matter?
It can be from Walmart.
Okay.
It can be. It doesn't matter where it's from.
Uh-huh.
I just like pecan pie, and it's like the jelly, which I don't know if I've ever. I know I haven't made it myself. I'm pretty sure I've seen it made because my brother-in-law will make pecan pie, and it's good too. But it's just like sugar.
Oh yeah,
it's just sugar,
it's
and
pure
it's
sugar.
Brown.
This is how I eat pecan pie often nowadays. And this is terrible. You're gonna be so mad at me. So for all of you out there in listener land, please.
Can I guess? Do you just smell it and then eat a pecan? You just smell the pecan pie and then eat a pecan. You're like, oh yeah, that's good.
No. But that would probably be the best thing I would do. No, I do indulge a little, right? So
okay.
I don't really want the enriched flours and stuff. It doesn't really set good on me. So and I could definitely make a gluten-free crust or whatever. But sometimes I'm just too lazy to mess around with that too. So but what I'll do is I'll cut me a piece, and then I'll take the pecans and I'll just dip the pecans into that wonderful
sugar. Pretty much,
sugar.
the brown-
Let's just call it that brown
goodies.
sugar goodness,
Mm.
and I'll just nibble on that, and might not even eat the whole slice, right? But I eat enough, right? So one of the things that I've learned about cheating for me, I mean, and you got to appreciate, like I've been doing this a long time. I'll even find this quote for you because it was from last night's last Thursday night's class, and it was this: nothing tastes better than feeling good feels. Nothing tastes better than feeling good feels. And so I rather feel good to go play with my kids than to be laid up in a sugar coma on the couch because I ate too much, right?
Yeah.
So even on the holidays, I have an intention. My intention is not necessarily the food, although that is a really fun part of it. For me, the intention is what am I giving to the day? I don't want to sleep that day. I don't want to be in the coma. So I'm cautious. So what the Macrofix class programs have taught me. So if you don't know about our Macrofix class, every other week, Monday and Thursday class, we announce these. We are teaching the rules of the game, the rules of food, how to integrate. We are even bringing food for you to try. Last week we had chia seed pudding, and we mixed chia seed pudding with asparagus spears, and people are like, "That sounds terrible." It was really good. I loved it with some alfalfa sprouts, and so it's just so cool to see how we can integrate food. But so going back to Thanksgiving, for me, I'll dip that pecan in that that sugar, because I can control the dose at that point. I can savor the dose. Going back to 2 or 3 shows back where me and you were playing with shakes, we didn't just start by mixing it all together. What did we do?
So what we did is took a little drink, kind of hold it in your mouth, maybe wash it around, focus on what you like, what you don't like.
Yes.
Is there anything that you're feeling?
Yeah, and notice those sensations, because that's how you build the palate. More and more people are that I've been sharing this message with people about how to train the palate. They're starting to get it. They're starting to get excited at I tried the spinach and just chewed on it to see what I liked or what I didn't like, and I found it was kind of juicy and it was kind of earthy, and it wasn't really that bad. And normally I would have to saturate that in some sort of dressing, and yeah, the great news is when you train that palate, nothing below your taste buds wants sugar. Nothing. The only thing that wants the sugar you taste is your taste buds and the bugs that are craving it. And that leads us to our next cool thought from last week's, class. And again, you've got to come to these classes. Typically, they're around 6:30. We have Renee and Jennifer and I are there, or Jennifer Squared, and we are there to just camaraderie and brainstorming on how to use the program and how to leverage it to the hilt, and why it's important to track the in-body scans and make sure everything's going in the right direction from a muscle mass and basal metabolic rate and body fat percentage, so that you can see what your body's doing. That class is, but this is what I got. I got the first one. Nothing tastes better than feeling good feels. So thank you, Ella. That was a great find. And then cravings are not an emergency. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So we oftentimes go, "Oh, I have a craving for." Well, you have a craving for is not an emergency that dictates your going to jump the rails right then, right there, or you're going to barrel over somebody to get what you think it is that you're craving. Because remember, the only 2 things that are craving are the gut bugs and your taste buds enjoy your indulgence, but nothing below your taste buds want it.
So those cravings, it's mental.
Yeah, and oftentimes not even mental, it's dehydration. Most of the times those cravings are an indication that your minerals might be a little bit low, or your B vitamins might be a little bit low. And that's why people start to what in the afternoon? Dip.
Yeah.
They start to crash out at between 1 and 3 in the afternoon. And if you're finding that you're crashing between 1 and 3 in the afternoon, let's up your B vitamins and your minerals in the lunch hour, or the 1 o'clock hour, so that your body doesn't dip. And maybe we'll outperform the craving, and you just naturally stop craving. That's one of my mentors always taught us. He says, stop telling your patients not to, because they're going to. What if I tell a kid not to touch that? What are they going to do?
Touch it.
Touch it. I mean, and if I tell an adult not to eat it, what are they going to do?
Eat it.
Yeah. So I mean, we're no different.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got to learn to play a different game.
I wonder if you did enough brain exercises, and I'm thinking about you. You know, you drink something, you eat something. Kind of think about it, make a connection. You know, between your taste buds, mentally, physically, as much as you can. If you can almost make yourself crave. I'm craving water. I'm craving spinach. Man, I really wish I had some asparagus right now or something like that.
Yes, and there is a shift, and so and I've taken families that were addicted to different milks and things and shifted them over to the oat milks or the almond milks, even rice milks at time, and then from there I would shift them off of those sweetened versions into the unsweetened version, and it's a stair step. And before long, you got 6-year-olds that they think unsweetened almond milk is as good as any other type of milk. I mean, typically, and people don't really know, when we have like gatherings and we use chocolate milk as a base, we'll put a big vat of chocolate milk together in a crock pot and have it getting warm. It's kind of a cool idea. And we'll put unsweetened chocolate milk, almond milk, in the crock pot and let that bring that to a boil, right, or to a simmering, whatever. And you can add cinnamon and vanilla to it. And, of course, we'll go get some, organic, marshmallows for the kiddos or for the adults that don't want that. The cinnamon and vanilla is enough. And now they're not getting the sugar. And what sugar they are getting, they're not getting a pure nothing but pounds of sugar, right?
Right.
We're always trying to take and enhance the 1 degree of change, and everybody can make 1 degree of change if we just put a little effort. And more people are telling me they're just coming to grips with the reality that they just don't know their body. They have become so disconnected. So that connection to food that you're talking about is such a powerful discovery process. And I think the discovery process is a very enjoyable process because it puts you at the driver's seat. It puts you in the commander's chair so that you are leading your body onward, upward, goodward, and Godward in a direction from a health perspective where you want it to go. Because nobody wants to be depressed. Nobody. I mean, nobody wants to not want to get out of bed in the morning. Nobody. People want energy. People want to have clarity of mind. And I think that this is a part of what Living Well's mission is to give people alternatives to drugs and surgery through education and training. You need brain training. You're absolutely right. You have to do some of the work that is willpower-based. The mind, the will, and the emotions, the soul. We got to make sure that part is firing and working like it's supposed to. The flesh is a real deal. But we have to realize that, our daily choices matter. So when we look at Thanksgiving coming up, what can we do up to Thanksgiving? Do we have to use, this previous Saturday and Sunday as, pregame cheat week? No. You eat clean up to the day so that when the day comes, you don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to not indulge. You can totally indulge. And there has been Thanksgivings where I went in with the plan that I was going to eat real clean and do this. I've had keto Thanksgivings. I mean, I've done all kinds of stuff, right? But there's also been Thanksgivings where I showed up and I had good intentions, but I saw some of those family traditions, and I was like, I'm in. We're going for the gusto.
Yeah.
We're gonna get the belt today.
Right.
And I indulged and I crashed out and I had a little bit of a headache and I have to rebound from that. But that's okay too. I mean, it's a part of the fun, And so make sure that you plan. But I'm telling you, you'll be shocked how oftentimes when you're craving something, it's nothing more than maybe you need some minerals, maybe you need some B vitamins. Simple more, you just might need a glass of water. Oftentimes a craving will last 5 minutes and or 8 hours.